In the last ice age, the face of Ireland was wiped clean. The glaciers retreated. Huge lakes flooded the centre of the country. At first the surrounding hills were bare. Forests returned some 10,000 years ago, and the climate warmed up. Birch, hazel, pine, then alder, elm and oak. Today most of the trees are gone, but fragments of the great Stone Age forest remain. Sometimes you can find the remnants of them in the many bogs. The first people who came to Ireland lived along the coast and used the rivers as highways. They camped along the edges and set up settlements. Over the past week, we spent our time around Doon, the mountain of Doon, the hill of Doon, and some exploratory walks into the boglands, the old Western Way, the new Western Way, and a mountain called Lackavrea. And it was in the attempts to climb Lackavrea that this film was created. Lackavrea is a hill some 392 meters high. The approach is, for the most part, hidden, unclear, boggy, watery. The views and the feeling of, I suppose, isolation and fear are what make Lackavrea a beautiful mountain to climb. If one is interested in climbing the 12 pins, to start on a mountain like Lackavrea will give you the confidence to approach the other mountains.
Ireland is very unforgiving, so today we brought 4 or 5 oranges just in case we die.
So this film goes into some of that detail, some of the maps, some of the routes, and maybe some of the advice. The only advice I can give really is to have backup plans, have recording devices, understand that GPS isn't always correct, understand that the weather can change, and that's maybe some part of the beauty of Connemara, that you can set out and it's sunny and you can come home in cloud and darkness. I would always bring a whistle with me, a View Ranger app. I would send glimpse apps to people so that they could see where I am at any time, and I would bring a head torch and maybe a backup battery and some food, even stuff that I'm not going to use. What you can see here in this clip is some part of the Western Way. This is from the Mam Cross Road, the R336. You can walk across the Western Way for maybe 6 kilometers. So one of the first approaches we did was this. And along this path there is an approach to Lackavrea on the left hand side, about maybe 2 kilometers into the walk. But this walk in itself brings you across these wooden planks, these sleepers, and it's almost 6-7 kilometers before you get to a beautiful waterfall. There is a bit of a knack to walking on these wooden planks. They are extremely slippy, but if you can get your feet onto the pegs or the pieces of steel, eventually you'll lose that panicky feeling that you're going to fall over at any moment, and your return journey is a bit more comfortable. The Western Way is a long-distance walking trail, taking in spectacular scenery in the counties of Galway and Mayo in the west of Ireland. The trail begins in Oughterard in County Galway and continues north towards Mam. From Mam it makes its way through the Inagh Valley, where it reaches Killary Harbour near Lannan. We've set ourselves a 2:30 cut-off time to get our asses back to the car.
I think we're about, what are we on, about 7 kilometers? On about 7-8 kilometers now, and we're coming to what looks like a seat for the first time. There should be maybe 1 or 2 more seats along the way. Oh shit! Anyway, we want that on video, but we want a proper fall into the bushes. Yes.
On day 2, we approached Lackavrea from the Old Western Way side. So this was the Old Western Way, skirts along the edge of Loch Corrib itself. It's pretty much a non-existent trail. It exists for the walker who has protected him or herself from water, and it is just boggy. That's the only word for it. It is pure bog the whole way around. Again, there's no real trails, but I just wanted to have a look at it. It looked like there were trails on it from the satellite photos. But we came in this road here, and this brings you up to a transmitter, and it brings you out onto the bog road. So this road is actually quite a nice, there's a place where you can park your car just here. There's a cattle grid. If it's busy, you have to park back here at this transmitter. It's not very visible, but this is a huge big transmitter tower, a wooden pole. So you can park there, or you can park here at this gate, and there's kind of an entrance here that looks like an overflow car park. So day 2, we traveled down this path here and this path here. So we traveled down to the end of this path. There's some houses here with dogs. There's sheep all around the place, so you need to keep your dogs on a leash the entire time. There's numerous trails and tracks. We tracked all the way right down to the coast here, which you're going to see in the video, and across this bridge, and we tracked all the way across here up onto this road. It looks like a road. It's not a road. There's no way it's a road. But, you know, obviously you're going to have a look at these things and say to yourself, right, let's have a look at these things. And we were looking at Lackavrea from this side. There is a fence which comes along here and then skirts up the mountain this way. It kind of gets to about, I think it's about here. But it's certainly an exit. If you were stuck, if you got caught on the top of Lackavrea and the wind was coming, say, from the Atlantic side, it might be a nice exit to come down this way. It's a bit of a walk out, and it is bog. It is just marshy bog. Go on, Archie. Go for a swim. Archie. Just coming back to Dune Hill. Now, Dune Hill doesn't look like much. It actually doesn't look like much at all. But it's, again, a kind of hidden gem. So I've come out for a little sub walk or
secondary walk for the day. This one we'll have to call the Hill of Doon rather than the Hill of Doom. Anyway, should be quite interesting, but it's really cold. Could be about 3 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's cold. Everything's a bit cold. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. We're hoping to get up over there onto this hill. And we're hoping for a good sunset.
This is quite steep. It doesn't look steep, but this is actually pretty steep ground all the way here. And you have this pathway that brings you up onto Doon. Now, in this video, in this next clip, I walk all the way up here, all the way up to here.
So I have met a bit of a problem that I'm gonna have to get around. I don't know how I'm gonna get around it because it looks like it's fenced off. I have a feeling that the lake is just up ahead. Let's just have a quick dash up here, see if we can see the lake. I'm sure there's got to be an easier way up. But anyway. Take them as you get them. Woo! Now, will we go with the fast way down, or will we go with the way we came down? That is the question. I'm gonna go, I don't know. Okay, well there's that tree right here. This one. We can get to there, we know where we are. We don't have to climb back up here, but then down. Okay. Oh, that was good. Good to see the other side of that. I wasn't gonna go. I was like, no, this could be bad. I wasn't gonna go, but there was plenty of time in the end. I think a sunrise or even a time lapse up there would be beautiful. I gotta watch my feet here. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. I won't put you through the downhill because the downhill's a bit of a bastard. Oh, I'm trying to avoid standing on some new trees. There's a lot of new little trees here. It's going to be a beautiful woodland at some stage in the future. But as a dedicated walker, we must keep our hills open. Look at all this. It's beautiful. Guys, there's guys and girls. There's reasons why we go walking in the hills, you know. It is the freedom of the wild. We walked away from the wilderness and set up civilization. And it wasn't always the brightest thing to do. I gotta watch out here. No point in lecturing. No words required. Everyone knows what we're doing here. Oh, that was beautiful. Really nice to get on top of that. I've been coming here a few years. I've never climbed it. I've never navigated up it because I'm always with dogs. And dogs are not akin to getting through all this bramble stuff. This is not a place for dogs at all. This is a place for goats. I might just stop here and do another time lapse. So thanks for staying with me. Long video, but I hope you enjoyed it. Nearly back at the path now. Woo! We're on the path. Oh, that was good. That was good. Success. So, people are always wondering about gear and stuff like that. These boots that I bought recently, these Loa Renegades, are absolutely unbelievable. I mean, so many times I'm just deep in the water, fall into something, and yes, I mean, if your leg goes in the wrong way and the water goes up, you're gone. Inside of the boot is gone, but they're just savage boots. I really enjoyed them. Thank you, Alan, for recommending them.
this is what it looks like. This is where the entrance point is. And you're trying to get over onto this ridge. You're actually trying to get over onto the far side of this ridge so that you get the view down into Lackavrea. But this is the little gate and the little stile, and this is where you can park your car. It's on the R336. So we come out of that view, turn ourselves around again, and zoom out. Anyway, yeah, so this is Lackavrea.
Lackavrea is the name of this hill. We're gonna make an attempt at the summit today, which should be quite interesting. They said the first 500 meters is wet, so the faster you can go, the better. Oh my god, this is just really bad. It's lovely, perfect day.
Yeah, no breeze.
Well, as discussed, I can't click my fingers. That looks like a well. Look at that.
Very deep looking.
Well, we've climbed up the left ridge, kind of the side that's onto Lackavrea. Certainly seems like the more plausible route, and we're now meeting up with a fence that's here. I'm presuming we're going to meet another fence on the left, which we came across yesterday. So just keep on climbing.
Let me take a picture of you.
Up through the middle. Beautiful vantage point though, look at that.
That's the one, isn't it? Oh, that's nice. Stay there. Gorgeous.
We probably wouldn't have gotten another chance at this, you know? Okay, so we're going to try for the top of this one.
Give me a second.
Keep your heel in. That's it. Well, the dog is suddenly trodden through the puddles.
Big difference in today and yesterday's weather.
Like night and day. Tiny little bit foreboding. But obviously quite doable as well. Look at that. The top is just here.
Periodic clouds.
Okay.
Partially cloudy. No rain.
Come on, Zara. All right. Here's Castle Kirk down here, and the remnants of 5 ring forts.
Give me her.
It's okay. Not quite sure whether it's the top! A bit of a beast. Bit too much of a push for me there. But anyway. Bit of full ass. The missus is freezing her ass off.
Gorgeous, I love that view.
Oh, it's that long shadows. Look. Long shadows. Always time to go home when you see long shadows. So that appears to be the end of Lackavrea, or whatever it's called. Lackavrea? Lackavrea? I don't know. Anyway, we managed to get to the top of the hill, and we managed to get down again without breaking anything, and without losing anyone, and without hurting anyone. Let's take it as a memento, Denise. I'm sure the mountain won't notice. Lackavrea. Go on, throw it in the back of my bag there. I shall bring it home. What did you like most about that, Denise?
The view of the mountains.
The view of the mountains. It is quite spectacular. We could have maybe left a little bit earlier, but it is winter time. So you're always going to have a short day. Denise didn't make it to the top. She's a wimp. What? Alright, I won't tell everyone.
That was the reason why.
What?
That was the reason
There was a wolf at the top. A huge big wolf. And
the tornado that was coming.
the tornado that was coming.
And the thunderstorms.
Anyway, she really didn't want to go to the top. I knew that. Otherwise she would have said, I want to go to the top. She was quite happy. But it's all about confidence. It's never an easy thing to get to the top, especially with dogs and stuff like that.
You're telling me to turn around.
And Denise shouldn't have even come. She's moaning that much now.
We didn't spot
She should have been
it.
just making sandwiches.
The bondsman and the slave. And whisper sweet the breath of God upon my humble grave. O cold March wind, that piercing dark, you cry in aged tones. For souls of folk you've brought to God, but still you bear the moans. O weeping winds, that lonely night, my mother's heart is sore. O Lord of all breath, of freedom's breath, that she may weep no more.